Okay, and there we go again. Okay, tell everybody refresh. To refresh. All right. Okay. So, my idea, and this is something when I saw the. Let me go back a little bit. When I saw the 3DS, I wasn't very excited about it. And this will all come back to it. Uh, Still laggy? Well, can't help that then, guys. It's going to be laggy then. You'll just have to avoid the chat then. um, Basically, what happened is that we've got a system that can do 3D. Yay! It's the problem with the 3DS, and I still hold this, is that if you move it just a little out of tilt, it's going to be bad. You won't be able to see anything.
Yeah, it's particularly bad if your vision is particularly bad. Now, I'm lucky; I have very good vision, but
Yeah.
all my friends who have glasses are constantly like squinting and moving that thing, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"I'm trying to see the 3D," and I'm like, "Oh God, it's like old 3D except it's new 3D, and it's not with 3D glasses; it's with your glasses."
Yeah.
Oh God, that sounds like hell.
So, but the thing is, I still say to this day that the 3DS is not a 3D system. When I got my 3DSs and I went to, I think it was Fanime last year, and I lent one to Mark Fujita, Psychotaku. He didn't love the 3DS. He loved the AR cards. And his opinion is become my opinion. We both believe that it's not a 3D system, it's an AR system. Think about all the possibilities you can do with the AR on the 3DS, and they're starting to bring out new things. Pokemon that you're looking around the room with to try and catch. You've got cards that you can collect for Kid Icarus, and you can place them in certain areas and create these battles that happen. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a very interesting concept. So my
Now,
idea,
by AR, you mean augmented reality?
yeah,
Okay.
and the same thing with the Wii, with the Wii U. The Wii U is basically, and somebody finally agreed with me. I think it was on an, I don't remember where I read it, but somebody agreed with me. Uh, all the Wii U is a 3DS with the top snapped off. The top is your TV, and you're given the bottom controller. That's all that a Wii U is. So it's still very exciting. So what what I think about this show, what he said with trans gaming, wouldn't it be fun if you had your mom playing Farmville, and the resources that she creates gives you stuff in your game to do stuff? Wouldn't it be cool if we got, playing Bejeweled, and then all of a sudden that helps you with your armor or brings up a shield around you? Now those are his ideas just right off the bat. Those are his, oh, wouldn't this be cool? So think about it. Think about how you and I could be playing two different games. And we're not talking, I mean, you can always unlink these games, but think about a cool little program that we could do where if I was playing Pokemon, well, let's actually get into what game do you enjoy playing? What game has caught your eye recently?
Recently, probably Lollipop Chainsaw.
Lollipop
But that's
Chainsaw.
because I'm me.
Okay. Well, what if I'm going through my World of Warcraft? I don't play World of Warcraft. This is highly hypothetical. Um, and I come across a weapon that I really like. And I see it has a link to Lollipop Chainsaw. And I get on Skype and I say, hey, Jack, I got this cool little thing. Do you need a new weapon in Lollipop Chainsaw? And you're like, what is it? And I'm like, well, it's this rare artifact. Hells yeah, send that shit over, you know? And I send it over. We've just done a transgaming transaction. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be very small little things. Maybe that sword that I found translates to something else, or maybe I found a costume and I can send that costume or bits to make a costume so that you can construct it. So it becomes a rarer artifact. I have to play my game. You have to play your game. So you find 2 bits, I find 2 bits. We exchange them, but we've still got them in our world. And hey, guess what? We've both gotten something new. And so that's this is an idea that they have. Maybe Epic Mickey 2 when it comes out. You and I have gotten Epic Mickey 2. I've gotten it for the Wii. You've gotten it for the Wii U, or for the PS3. And I uncover something that you haven't. Well, all of a sudden I send it down to your game. All of a sudden you've got something new, and I'm calling this a trans game because I'm going from my Wii to your PS3. This is 2 different systems that don't talk to each other, but since we're playing the same game, well, maybe this will work. That's my idea, is that there's a way that what he's discussing is a way to connect our experiences. And maybe, yeah, I'm not sending you a ton of stuff in Farmville, but maybe this will enhance a little certain something when we play together or even separate off of each other. You're quiet. I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm considering this. Okay. So I see what you're saying. So, yeah, I think that could be really cool. Actually, now that you mention it, but my fear is essentially this.
Okay.
That even as interesting as that idea is, I'd be very curious to see whether these companies that want to do that kind of thing are going to be able to manifest that kind of stuff. Largely because, certain companies are really litigious about their IPs, while others aren't, and now they're somehow linked.
Well,
that creates an entire legal and industrial problem.
Well, and that's
that
why
probably wouldn't exist between, people who don't care about that kind of thing, but among, intellectual property holders, that could be a really huge deal.
Oh yeah, I completely see people having difficulty with it, but we're already kind of getting into trans gaming, and if you could even, and this wouldn't be forced upon people either. This would be completely groups going in together. Let's even, we're seeing Tekken cross Capcom. Cross Street Fighter. It's you've got 2 groups already there together. You've got a Kingdom Hearts, where you've got the whole Mickey franchise, and Final Fantasy, and all that. Well, heck, what if we were to link Epic Mickey and the new Kingdom Hearts? All of a sudden, I've unlocked something, and hey, I'm going to be sending something to you, Jack. And while you're playing Kingdom Hearts, all of a sudden, Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit, pops up. and opens up a door for you and unlocks something on your game that's a brand new quest that you wouldn't have been able to access before. And so it's something that's not forced on groups. It's something that's kind of, hey, wouldn't you like to do this? Namco and Capcom, I think it's Namco and Capcom, have done this a new game in Japan where it's a bunch of fighters and it's an RPG. And so you get to have certain fighters fighting alongside other fighters from an entirely different group. Well, that's maybe I send some of my fighters over to you because my company has linked to that. So hey, all of a sudden I'm sending one of the guys from Yakuza over there to help you out. It's not something that's going to be forced on groups. I think it's something that if they wanted to, this could happen. And if players didn't want that, if you were just like, Justin, I'm right in the middle of this battle. I'd love for you to help me out, but could you make it later? And no problem. And I just push a button, and it's waiting. It's waiting for whenever you're ready. I get off line. I put down the controller and I walk off, and you finish up your battle, and like, oh, okay. All right, I've healed up, and hey, there's a little message up at the bottom. All of a sudden, Oswald pops up and opens up a door for you, and you can go into your new thing. So it's not something that would, it could happen immediately. It could not happen immediately, but it's just this possibility for the same company or different companies to open up their doors and make it so that when, like they said on there, grandma who has no idea what the heck EVE Online is about, well, all of a sudden she's playing Farmville, but she likes you. Your grandson, Jack. So she oh, Jack. I'm sure your grandmother doesn't talk like that. Jack, I'm sending you something very nice from Farmville. Hope you like it. Love and kisses. Come over Thursday. We're having meatloaf. And this little thing pops up. Well, on this distant world, all of a sudden you see that it's increased production of something. So now you go to that world, and hey, that's where your grandmother has put her stuff. So it's in the game. It's somewhere. And she didn't have to play
I can see that, but is that really like, the great new direction, or is that really just kind of a, I don't want to say gimmick, because that belittles the idea a little too much, but is it just a thing? Is it a thing like the Wiimote? That's like, oh, well, this is okay, but like, not going to use that for everything. Let's go back to just using it as a controller. Blip, 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 blip,
Yeah. Oh, it's totally going to be just a thing. But it's an idea. And that's, I think, what excited me when he started talking, because I was still like, okay, yeah, trans gaming, I might get to the point. And then when he started talking about that, about his girlfriend maybe playing Bejeweled and fixing his armor or putting a shield around him while he played, holy smoke, my brain just popped. And I was like, oh my God, there's so many possibilities. And it's really, in all seriousness, it's probably not going to go anywhere. It'll probably be within the company. It'll probably be with, so Capcom games will maybe be able to talk to each other. Maybe. But it's the possibility. It's that somebody is thinking outside the box and making this idea work. I mean, when we were at E3 and I told Joe about, and he was like, oh, the Wii U, the Wii U's not a great idea. I'm like, dude, think about what you can do. And I started naming off my ideas for the Wii U, and his eyes just got as big as saucers. He hadn't thought of that before. And so he was just, oh my God, that's a great idea. Yeah, it is. Will it happen? I don't know. But it's a good idea. And I think that's what we were lacking, what we've been lacking in video games just recently when ideas have been falling flat, like the Kinect. Nobody likes the Kinect.
Yeah, no.
At E3,
No.
I don't even think Microsoft likes the Kinect.
I actually know some guys who are working on the non peripheral motion control, like the screens that actually can actually catch the movements of your hand and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it works really great actually. Like they demonstrated it for me, and I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's been out for a while. I'm like, how's it going? And like they're kind of like, no, it's not going well. And I'm like, well, why? You actually got it working? And they're like, yeah, but because all the other products that didn't work right have come before us, it's negatively affecting our market. You know, we can't. We now have to work like 10 times as hard to prove that we're not the Kinect.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh man, that sounds hideous.
Yeah.
Because it actually is. It is the step towards like the Minority Report, Deus Ex, System Shock style of holographic interface,
where you can just
and so it's really where you can really like just point at your screen. It knows what you're going for, and you can move the icons around.
Oh gosh.
It's super cool, but but for lack of a better way of putting it, it's super cool. But it is only super cool because it's actually not significantly different from using a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
And I perceive that as being like a difficulty, a problem with adapting to it. Like, and any time there's like a new technology or a new idea, it generally has to fight with other. And the two questions that have to be answered are: how is this better, and why do I care about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And every technology that gets adopted always answers both of those questions. Because I'm a guy who grew up in the 80s, I always go back to VHS and Betamax.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my mind goes when we're talking about competing technologies. Because the reason VHS won was because nobody cared about the quality. They just cared about being able to see the movie uninterrupted. And Betamax tapes you had to have two tapes sometimes to watch a particular movie. Mm-hmm. The fidelity the Betamax gave you was fantastic compared to VHS. But in the middle of the movie, you have to get up and change the tape, and oh crap, did I rewind that one? No, now I gotta rewind. You don't want to think about that. I mean, it was less convenient than Laserdisc, where you at least know you gotta just flip the disc over, and nobody really remembers Laserdisc anymore. Well, maybe people listening in Japan do.
I remember, but yeah.
I remember Laserdisc. Whatever happened to Laserdisc? DVD happened to Laserdisc. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Well,
and everybody thought that HD discs. What were those HD discs?
HD DVD.
HD DVD. Those were going to be the next big thing, and then Blu-ray came out, and they were like, nobody's going to watch Blu-ray. Look at how expensive the Blu-ray players are. Where's HD DVD discs?
Yeah. But turns out, no, Blu-ray won.
Yeah.
It won hands down. And I still don't entirely, I think I know how they did it, which was Sony, in a really brilliant kind of not like them move, just they didn't quite give the technology away, but they made it so that a bunch of people could make third-party Blu-ray players, whereas HD DVD did not do that as successfully.
Yeah.
So even though the players were more expensive, hey, they were kind of everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So all you had to do was you had to pick one, and then they were like, well, it's very easy to find a Blu-ray player, so I think that's how it won.
Yeah.
It was just easier. It's like why there had been MP3 players before the iPad, or not the iPad, but the iPod. But what really made it successful was the fact that Apple had created a technological ecosystem in which the iPod could be placed. You're like, hey, do you want to listen to your car on launch day? We have a thing out that allows you to hook it up to your car radio so you can listen to it in your car.
Wow.
Hey, do you want to make it into a little boom box? Hey, we got a thing that allows you to make it into a little boom box. And on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And they made it so easy to adopt the iPod that became the standard until the iPhone, which is, you got an iPhone, you don't need an iPod. I don't know. Are iPods even like a separate thing anymore? Because I don't know.
Yeah, they still do the iPods, I suppose. I think. But yeah, I think it just needs. I can see it being interesting for some games, but I can definitely see how it's not going to be the next big thing. But that somebody is thinking outside of the box is a big deal.
That is encouraging.
And
that is a bit encouraging.
And I would like to see more of that. I'd like to see more people. I'm one of my favorite gaming platforms is or not platforms, but a series is Monster Hunter, and
yeah.
And the latest.
Oh man, can I tell you a funny story about Monster Hunter really quick?
Oh sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I was in Taiwan in April, visiting family, and me and the Countess were walking around. All of a sudden, she sees this little figure in a toy store, and she's like, I don't know what that is, but we have to get it. And I didn't know what it was either, because I was like, I don't know, like video games. Like I used to play those.
Mm-hmm.
And so all we can tell that it is that it's a cat with a giant club.
Yes.
We're like, well, we're buying that. That looks awesome. And so we got home and we're like, what the hell is this? And that's how we discovered Monster Hunter 3.
And that's the Monster Hunter, yes.
Yeah, and that's the Monster Hunter story. I was like, what the hell are these things? They're like, oh, they're called the Felines. Yeah. And I'm like, what do they do? And they're like, apparently they do anything, but they do everything, but they do it really, 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 really adorably.
Yes. You've got on the Monster Hunter, you've actually got a farm that they work. And so when you're not going out, when you're taking a rest from your adventuring, you can go to your farm and say, could you guys go up there and do some mining? And they'll run up and they'll, in a fury of meow, 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 and they'll come back and or they'll hop into a little mining cart and it'll just kind of disappear, and then you'll hear bam, 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 they'll wheel back out and you'll dump.
God, that's awesome.
It's so cool.
Didn't they also make like a little Patapon style rhythm game with those guys?
Don't know about the Patapon rhythm game. They did make a separate RPG for them. Which is very adorable because they're kind of little super deformed little characters and stuff. But anyways, back to the ideas that I had. Monster Hunter 4. They just started showing trailers for Monster Hunter 4, and the big thing on there that I can tell is the ability to climb. Sounds really cheesy, and I was like, ooh, you can climb walls, great, whatever, that's but then they started to show, well, what if you took a net and had a monster climbing on the net, kind of like a cross between a monkey and a sugar glider, it kind of looks like. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting idea, but games have had climbing forever. It's nothing new. It's new for the Monster Hunter. I'm still going to buy it. Yeah, I'm still going to have fun with it. That's an idea that people have had. Adding something, it doesn't change anything. But what we need is more ideas that change things. And I think this idea with the Eve,
I totally agree.
that really changes things. And with the Wii U, I really think that changes things. When Microsoft came out with their tablet expansion and says, well, you've already got a tablet, just link it up to your Xbox 360. That's a brilliant idea. And I people said, oh, this, spring glass, whatever they're calling it, that's so stupid. And I'm like, are you insane? That's a brilliant idea. Whether or not it'll work well, that's a different story, but it's a brilliant idea. Nintendo already came up with it.
I've noticed this trend in the console world, which is they've been really, for the last 20 years now,
Mm-hmm.
they've been locked into the console wars model.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make our console, you're going to make your console, you're going to have your developers, we're going to have our developers, and then it will be a battle for the most dollars, and who has the most dollars wins.
Yeah.
But it seems like after the PS3, Xbox 360 war, basically, which did not have a clear victor, in my opinion.
No.
Not even with Nintendo coming in and kind of sweeping the rug out from under them. There's still not a clear victor.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that all of a sudden now they're stuck. They don't know what direction to go in anymore. And I can understand why, because when you got the graphics power of the PS3 or the 360, why do you don't need to go any higher.
Yeah.
You just simply don't. You don't need more graphical power, and everyone already kind of senses this. They're like, well, it looks pretty, that's nice, but you know what also looks pretty? Final Fantasy 13, and that game is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Which really saddens me, because I was a huge Final Fantasy fan. And I'm like, yeah, Final Fantasy, you bring those finals of fantasy. And I'm watching it, I'm watching a cutscene that I can't skip. Oh, God. What is this? Do I get to play the game? The thing I was playing this with my brother, or not playing it with him, but I was playing this around him. And there's a line that I kept using that I love quoting whenever something is not doing the thing that it has promised me it is going to do,
Mm-hmm.
which is, when are they going to get to the fireworks factory? Which comes from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Which is the episode of Poochie the dog. Because the whole joke is they introduce this character called Poochie the dog, and he is an extreme character. He's a rapping kung fu skater hippie. And he's a dog. But the cartoon starts out, they're Itchy and Scratchy are going to fireworks factory.
Yes.
Yay, they run to Poochie the dog, and everything goes on, and the whole cartoon goes off the rails, and everyone hates it.
Yes.
And in the middle of this, Milhouse starts crying, when are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
That's
so
right.
It became my response for, God damn it, why are we is it okay if I curse on this stream?
Oh yeah, you can curse. We've got a couple people.
Okay. I just don't know what your rules are. But I'm playing Final Fantasy. I'm like, when the fuck am I gonna actually be able to play a game here? What's a foul C? What's Cocoon? What's going on? Why are you not explaining basic concepts of the world to me? But you seem to be saying it a lot, and that's kind of what, not to go on a total tangent, but that really upset me, because I was like, look, these are obviously these must be simple concepts, but you never actually explained it until you're like, oh, that's why you called it Cocoon. Oh, Fal'C means God. Well, why couldn't you have just told me that in the beginning? I would have been a lot less irritated.
Yeah.
But no, we had to overcomplicate it, because we can't just tell a straight, girl becomes hero story. That would be expected. And I don't know. I'm like, guys, it worked all those other times you did it. Why did you overcomplicate it this time?
Well,
You know, it's like all the complex narrative that they used to do now just goes into the basic concepts of the game.
yeah, yeah, and I told Joe that uh, when we were actually talking about the thing about he said, well, you do realize they're already starting production on the PlayStation 4 and the Microsoft console. You realize this, right? They're really not. I just nodded and smiled to sorry, Joe, if you're here, but I just yeah, no, they're not. Um,
No, they really aren't.
no.
The PS3 was such a boondoggle. The thing is that I'm sure they researched it. I'm sure they tried to develop it. But the problem is that the sales of the last Sony PlayStation were so slow to gain speed that they're just trying to figure out, like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
You know, like, what happened? Why didn't everyone run out and buy a PS3?
Yeah.
What?
Well,
Basic.
And like you said, there's not any growth in having the systems are graphically where they're going to be. The Wii U is going to be like the Xbox 360 or probably not the PS3. It might be comparable to the PS3, but it's going to be about Xbox 360 graphics wise. And people are saying, well, that's so yesterday. You're still playing the Xbox and the PS3. Don't knock this.
Yeah.
What's the next level?
Those systems didn't get worse. There's just nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And I really think that the next evolution in gaming is not going to come from the console developers. It's going to come from the software developers because it has to.
Yes. And going right back, that's why that program, that extra credits, excited me. Because that's a programmer going, hey, we're going to expand in this way. And it's possible for us to do this. Think about the possibilities that other companies could do if they did something like we're doing. And I think that's why it's a small thing, but it's a big thing. It's a very big thing. Even I had an idea about this. One of my very first videos that I ever made was a rock band video, and I think I have this out somewhere on YouTube or someplace. But my idea was this group called Infendo, which was a website. I think they still do stuff. I haven't been there in a long time. They had a contest. They were going to give away Rock Band World Tour. And to the best video, you had to make a video. And it had to have Infendo in it, and that was about it. So I did Smashing Pumpkins 1979 video, because I'm a big Pumpkins fan. And but I had it that that my friends and we were all in different places. And we were all linking up our computers. I was playing, my Rock Band. My friend Max was playing Frets on Fire. My other friend Rasmo was playing Poppin' Music and Dance Dance Revolution. And so we were all linking up our systems to this hub, I guess it was, in the movie. And we played 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins. Even back then, But think about that possibility to play different systems, rhythm games, but you're playing the same song together. And, it's just just a great idea.
That's a neat idea. That's a neat idea of specifically doing that with, like, the rhythm games, like syncing up, Rock Band, or do they still make Guitar Hero? Like, I don't know anymore.
They've stopped doing the Rock Band group thing. I think all the Rock Band and the Hero, they're all dead, I think.
Yeah. But when that had been going on, if they had linked that up to things like Dance Dance Revolution, that could have been great.
That would have been very cool.
Tons of.
Oh yeah, and popping in everything and even if you did it at home, having one person playing on the pad, another person playing the guitar, But yeah, it could be. It's it's just an idea, but it definitely goes. I think you're absolutely 100% correct. It'll come from the game designers, and if we do something new, that'll be it. I think with the I think that's what actually Microsoft wanted with the Kinect. They saw, okay, Nintendo's doing really well, we admit it, with the whole thing. But what if you didn't need a controller? Huh? I thought, go on, tell me about this no controller thing. What if you're walking and then you jump to the side to hide behind a pillar? I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. Okay, go on. You're like, and then you come out and then you aim your gun. All right, what do you have in front of you that's a gun? You don't have anything. Well, well, then how does the computer know that you're holding a gun? It'll know. No, it doesn't. It doesn't know. It doesn't
really
ever
doesn't.
know.
And actually, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. The other facet that why I knew that the Kinect was not going to be big, although I don't think that that was a big mystery to anybody. Which is, even in that scenario, there's something dissatisfying about not holding something in your hand that's gun-like when you're firing a gun thing.
Yeah.
Even the controller, you feel something in your hand, and when they put in the rumble packs, like, then that was super satisfying.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, shake it in my hand just a little bit, like a real gun. I mean, not like a real gun, but it's, you can pretend.
Yeah.
You know, you can extrapolate it. And when you've got nothing in your hand, all of a sudden, I always have a point with those things where I realize I'm not actually touching anything, and I get irritated. You know, and it bugs me, yeah, because it seriously it does. Like, even if I'm like doing like the Michael Jackson rhythm game, which really could have been a lot better than it was. Like, for some reason I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm at best I'm touching my crotch to do the and I feel weird. Like, there's nothing beneath my feet that I'm like trying to make a connection with. There's very little. The feedback is too jerky. You know, because the feedback is visual, but in a motion game, it feels like the feedback should be kinesthetic. You should feel it. And so that always bothered me. Like, it's my problem with tablet computers, which is I'm always like hitting that screen really hard, waiting for the button pushback. You know,
Yeah.
the little nothing irritates me more about my machine than the little touchpad that turns the touch button that turns the monitor on, because it doesn't give me that satisfying click.
Yep.
I just have to like sit there and wait, and then I gotta wait for the noise for it to go doo-doo, so I know that it's turned on or off and is warming up.
The only,
You know,
yeah, one of the only good games that I would suggest people play if you have a Kinect is Child of Eden. Oh my gosh, because
because
that one you don't have to.
Exception. Yes.
Yeah, because that you don't have to push against something because you're in space, and you're a god, and you just have to move over here.
They did a really good job with that one. They knew what they were doing when they designed that game.
Oh yeah, and once again, the developer had it, and yeah, they gave them the controls to do that, but they could have done it with the Wii. They could have done it with the PlayStation Move. Sorry. Lollipop. We represent the lollipop guild. The lollipop guild. We're PS3 guild.
I'm telling you, man. If there had been a Wii version of Lollipop Chainsaw, I would have had to have checked it out. Because I'd have been like, what the hell is how the hell is this gonna happen? Like, that would have been awesome, because I mean, okay, it's called Lollipop Chainsaw. For those of you who don't know, it is basically Buffy the Zombie Killer.
Yeah.
The game, written and developed by a guy who used to work for Troma. So if that Wiimote actually like had a rumble pack, I can only imagine how cool it would have been to swing that chainsaw and feel the Wiimote like vibrate in my hand as I'm like cutting zombies down. Like that would have been awesome. But of course you can't do that with the Wiimote because Wiimote's not set up for that kind of thing. That would have been too specialized because that's one of the few times that would have been really satisfying. So yeah. But like, oh god, speaking of feedback, I don't know if you play a lot of tabletop RPGs.
I do.
Have you had, or are you the guy that pulls out like the iPhone with the virtual dice? Have you ever experienced that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's a program that allows you to roll virtual dice on your iPhone or your Android. And every time that thing comes out, I get irritated. because someone's like, okay, so I'm trying to shake the dice. I'm like, get the dice are right in front of you. There's a die 20 right there. Pick it up. Hear that roll.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but it might roll off the table. That's part of the experience. Pick it back up. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why are you using technology to complicate this? Roll the die, get the number. God damn it!
It's very simple, folks. It's not too bad.
Simple.
And just so everybody knows right off the thing, guys, yeah, I'm sorry about that, Scarlett. I was trying to mod you and it didn't work, so we're okay. There we go. And I fucked up. So that was my screw up. I'm sorry. I did not mean that. My computer's not working, so there we go. Okay.
What happened?
Oh, I accidentally deleted one of her messages and gave her a timeout. And I was like, no, I didn't mean to do that. What the fuck?
Oh dear.
So,
oh dear.
So there, she's a mod now. She can now. So there you go. Okay.
You didn't mean to give her a timeout.
I didn't mean to give her a timeout. No, unless it's in my room, and then she gets a timeout and a spanking. So it's that's some good spanking timeout wise.
Oh man.
But
sexist humor.
No. Well, yes, but yes, I apologize. But Scarlett's okay with it because she's just kind of that way. So I hope she's okay with it. I dearly hope that she's okay with it.
Please be okay with it. Oh God, we're not evil people, really.
Yes. Well, and she's
no, wait,
all.
Maybe he is.
Well, and she's also the mod of. She's one of the administrators of my youcanplaythis.com. So if I make her upset, all she has to do is just ban me. Good luck trying to get in your website now, fucktard.
You ban me? No, I ban you.
I ban you.
I ban you from life. Oh man.
So.
Yikes. By the way, how are Mark and
Samantha? Very good, very good. As a matter of fact, Samantha was very excited. Her newest video has done very, very well, and thank you to everybody for going out and watching her video. Yeah, where is Scarlett? God, I hope I didn't screw up.
oh God, don't tell me you did it again.
No, it's just that she should be modded, but it's not. I don't know how to unban. Quick, somebody give me the code to unban. Well, it was a 600-second timeout, so. Oh, Scarlett, you know me, hon. If they didn't have keys on here, I wouldn't know how to use the internet. It's like, ah, mouse hurt, so it's just, yeah. So please don't be mad. Please don't be.
Yeah, I've kind of become the same way. Basically, if for some reason .hack sign ever happens, I'm dead. I'm so dead. There's just no way I'm gonna survive that.
Yeah, but she'd still be on the list. Okay, so she's all right. So okay, she'd be okay. She's still on the list. She is still on the list, so we're still okay. We just gotta wait till she.
We're good. So which video of Second Echoes was that? Was that did really
this
well?
was the hair episode. Yeah, this was the hair episode where they talk about the differences in colors of hair and how that works, and it's a really good episode. Well, it's also got Jesu Otaku and Mars Girl in it. And
oh, nice!
So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I feel like we don't hear a lot from Mars Girl these days.
Yeah.
Either that or I'm just missing it.
Well, no,
it is possible.
She's got her. She doesn't do too much of anime anymore. She does these new crayon things, which are all well and good, but she hasn't done her anime news for a while, and she hasn't talked about any anime for a while. So it's I'd like to see her do more on anime. But then again, we're all trying to find.
There's actually one that I always kind of wanted her to get to, and for those of you in the stream under a certain age, you will have no idea what I'm talking about, and even some people who are older might not know this one. But I was very interested in having her discuss the Venus Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things about the Venus Wars I thought was really kind of interesting is that it was, for lack of a better way of putting it, it was one of the few animes that actually had three distinct types of female characters, and it wasn't a harem anime. And usually in an anime, because for some reason it's and usually, sorry, something came up. And usually, when an anime happens, there's usually like one character who's the girl.
Okay.
And yeah, and this one actually had like three different types, and I was sort of like, oh hey, like that's kind of neat. That's kind of interesting because usually you don't get to see that a lot, and particularly now you don't see it. Because now we've got like the really standard like harem anime female types, and I find that to be kind of, I don't find it to be irritating so much as really boring. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, it's the same thing over and over. I mean, I think that once we had Ranma and Half, harem anime started to go out, and even Venus Wars is around that time period. I mean, it's an 80s, early 90s, isn't it? And
yeah, it was an 80s flick.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, and it was. I'd like to see. I don't remember very much from it, but I would like to see something on that. Yeah, I really think that she should do something like that.
Yeah, I really like Venus Wars for one reason. Although it's one of those reasons that for me it's kind of hard for me to explain this to people. Which is there's actually this whole category in my own head of animes that I like because the sensation that comes over you when you experience the story is one of great sentimentality.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the Venus Wars. I feel is like that. Wings of I can never pronounce it, but like Wings of Hanamise.
Wings of Hanamise, yes.
Yeah, That one.
That was a good
many of the segments of Robot Carnival.
Yes!
Which is another one I love.
God, love Robot Carnival. Love it so much. The one with the girl, and the man creates her, and then he just becomes.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's my favorite story.
Yes.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
Well, that one, and then I think my second favorite one has to be the one near the very end where they make the wooden robots, the wooden mechanoid robots, the wooden Gundam in samurai times.
Robots?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, the dub of that only enhances the story. The dub of that only enhances the story. There are very few moments where I prefer the dub over the sub. That segment of Robot Carnival is one of them.
Yeah.
Another one where I vastly prefer the dub over the sub, blasphemy I know, is Dominion Tank Police, the original OVA they did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because the sound mixing that they did when they brought that over, they added 1 million jokes, and it really actually helped. They added a lot of different jokes, and they added songs and sounds that aren't in the subtitle version.
Really?
Because I've seen both of them. Yeah. I watched both of them, and I was like, "Whoa!" That whole sequence where like the guy is like, reaching for the light. Wait, all that sound that was there that was so great of like the wooden flute. It's not there in the sub, and that's because it's only there in the dubbed version.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back, if you can find it, a really tragic example of how, goddamn it, yeah, the dub sucked, but the sound engineering was goddamn brilliant, was the original Steamline Akira.
Really?
Yeah, because if you can find the original Steamline Akira, watch it, and then watch the redub that they did in like 2002.
Yeah.
You'll notice that there are a ton of sounds that aren't there because Steamline put them in.
I'm pulling out my copy. That's where I am right now. So, I have. Okay, no, this is yeah, this was 2002 or 2001 rather.
Yeah. That's the redo. Yeah, the Steamline one is now really hard to find because everyone just kind of assumes that the new dub is better, and the new translation, the translation is miles above what Steamline did, but the actual sound mix that Steamline did is superior to that.
Is better, okay.
Oh yeah, it's way better. Like just the whole sequence right before the kid screams and the fucking beer sign falls, from the building and crushes people.
Mm-hmm.
That the whole sequence in the beginning where they're gassing the gassing the protesters.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the Steamline version, when the guy shoots the guy with the canister, you hear him go scumbag, and so it really feels like really super tense because like people are yelling at each other, like they're interacting with the environment through the sound mix,
mm-hmm.
and you didn't realize that wasn't there until you saw the new one, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, all that's gone. All that's gone. Like, why is it gone? Why did they get rid of it? It's part of what made that whole sequence so awesome. Well, whatever. Akira. I don't care what anyone says. I totally understood Akira the first time through.
Yes, totally. I don't know why people didn't.
It's not lost at all.
No. Well, wow, that was really. Yeah, derailment, as Scarlett said, of what we were talking about. But that's how this stream goes. We derail for a while. Well, anyways, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you talking with everything. And once again, everybody, Count Chocula, he does really good stuff. Go ahead and I'll post a link in the text if you will to your stuff, or I'll do it here, or we can both do it.
We'll do it. We'll get it both at once, and that will be. I don't know. That'll be something.
Yeah, but I actually didn't know about your stuff until MagFest, and then when I met you and you gave me your card and you told me to look at your stuff, I really liked it. So.
Oh, thank you.
So there we go.
Yeah, for everyone who's wondering, next episode will be up on Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm going to be the next 3 films. There are 2 films I'm doing, and I'm trying to figure out what the third one is going to be, because the big episode of this series of videos is going to be on the movie Martyrs, and that's going to be a rough one. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult watching, because the movie is. I want to talk about the movie because it's extremely good, but it is one of those movies that's all about making you extremely uncomfortable. It's not the same magnitude of Serbian film, but it is that same type of. We're talking about something deeply disturbing here, and we're not going to pull our punches. But I guarantee you, the Friday the 13th video going to be much easier. That's going to be much easier, because that is a really bad Full Moon Productions movie, and those are always fun to talk about because they are so awful. Particularly the ones that are made after 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Before 2000, some of them are actually really good. Some of the Puppet Master movies are actually legitimately good video store fare. You're
Mm-hmm.
you put the put in the VCR, or you turn on the movie channel and you watch it and you're like, hey, that was actually really good. That was way better than I was expecting. But for some reason they hit 2000 and then it just turns into just crap. Everything's bad, and you're like, I don't know what happened. And they get this one director on there who I love, and I don't know if Razorvine is in the stream, but Razorvine loves to talk about this guy, David Dakota, or as I like to call him, Mr. Not Gay the Director. Because every movie that he does, almost every movie he does, is all about these really beautiful 20-something boys with their shirts off. And there's always one female character they're all trying to score with. And you're like, give it up. Give it up. We have a 10-minute shower sequence where it's nothing but naked guys. You're not fooling anybody. And you made this movie in 2007. Come on, man. No, there's no reason to do this. Not even a little bit. I even saw another movie called one of the Bloody Mary movies, where the director goes out of his way to explain that he is not dating the female producer. And I'm like, dude, anyone who looks at you and is not going to assume that you're dating anything that resembles a woman. That's not the rumor you have to dispel. Therefore, I have to assume you're doing this on purpose.
Wow.
What the hell's wrong with you? It's one of those. It's so strange. It's so weird, because I cannot conceive of why these guys feel like they need to kind of closet the movie or themselves. It's like that. I could kind of understand that if your movie wasn't about 5 guys in a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And every David Dakota movie has a shower sequence that lasts 5 minutes, and it's all naked guys. And I'm kind of like, okay, so it's like gay horror, but no, they're all supposed to be heterosexual. And you're like, what? Who did you make this movie for? I thought I got it. I thought it was softcore gay horror porno. Okay, I'm with you. I get it. But now, no, we can't have it be too gay. Oh, shut up. Whatever. But I love bitching about those kind of movies, because I actually find the mentality that you find in lower budget fare to be endlessly fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's endlessly fascinating. Like Troma, the whole way they do movies, their whole like shoot it and get it done attitude
Mm-hmm.
is really, 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 really fascinating, because you would never. They do everything wrong. They do everything wrong. You're not supposed to do any of the stuff that they do on a set. You know, if you go to film school, it's like, you know, you never do this, you never do that. Everything your instructor ever told you was bad, Troma does all the time. And not necessarily on purpose.
Yep.
And it is only by the grace of the movie gods that their movies get made at all. And yet they still continue on as an organization. And I'm like,
Definitely.
how is that possible? This is fascinating. I feel like I'm not watching people anymore. I'm watching demigods. I'm watching demigods screw around on Earth and just mess everything up, and still somehow they're able to, like, you know, turn that into gold.
Yep. Turn it into profit or
like,
anything. So it's something that he does, but yeah, thanks so much for joining me here, man. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, I had a great time, and I hope everyone in the stream found it interesting and found it entertaining, because I worry about that sometimes. I blather on a lot, and I am not sure whether people are interested in what I'm blathering on about.
I do too, and then by the time I realize I'm done, you know, it's 2 hours are done. So, but thanks a lot, man, and hopefully maybe we can have you on again sometime these weeks.
Oh, I'd love to. It'd be my pleasure.
Cool. Well, take care, man.
Hey, take care.
Cheers. Bye.
All right.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut him off like that. I didn't mean to cut him off early. But I wanted to see if I could get Scarlett and Liz on, because it is so very rare to have them on here. So let me know if you two can get on. And if you can't, that's fine too. And we'll just finish up this 45 minutes, just me talking. Oh my gosh, look at all these. Look at all the sexy in here. Look at all that. We got a Miss Na Young. We've got you know, Scarlett. We've got Iron Liz. We had Emily. She was here for a while. Yeah, Miss Na Young, the makeup that people are doing on this is... What's this for, if I can ask? What's the makeup all for? I mean, why are they turning you into guys? Yes, I do know that the chest is latex there. Yeah, we are going to be, and we are quite a bit behind in the stream, but we've only got 45 minutes left, so we're not gonna. And I'm sorry for the typing noises too. So, well, okay, just makeup tests. Okay, yeah, everybody, you know, once again, thanks to Count Jackula. I don't know if we made any sense. I know that I was just pretty much rambling that entire time. But we don't talk too much about games on here, and we're on Twitch TV, so you gotta put in some game talk here. Every once in a while. There you go. So, but everybody, hoping you're having a great week. It's been really hot here. Just so that you all know, everything's okay in the Springs. We're, well, that's a very good picture of you, Jessica. Everything's good here. The heat has been a great problem, but we're getting better. And fires have started to go out thanks to the firefighters. The firefighters here have been working like crazy. They opened, when they started lifting some of the evacuation zones, one of the well-known restaurants, Old Chicago, opened up. And my aunt told me that they were in there, and some firefighters came in for lunch. And this was only like on Sunday or Monday. And they were greeted with a standing ovation from the entire restaurant, she said. People came over to talk to them, get their autographs, and thank them. And their meals were on the house. So, yeah, they've been working very, very hard. So it's always a good thing to thank the people who work very hard for you. And firefighters, we have a big love for firefighters right now here in Colorado Springs. So yeah, everything's good there. As far as the JoJo, because I saw this while I was talking to Jack. Yeah, as far as the JoJo games, oh my god, JoJo Bizarre Adventure. It was wonderful. I cannot wait. And to hear that they are going to be doing a TV show, a TV anime. I know that I've actually got it hooked up here on Crunchyroll. They've got an hour-long program here. And I cannot wait to see if that goes off well. I can't wait, because JoJo just needs more love. He's become kind of a Japanese icon, especially for indie people. I don't know why it's kind of gone that way. Maybe because Araki's artwork is a specific way. But I really like the artwork that he's doing now for JoJo 8. And it's really, really beautiful. Next to the Beatmania, Krista928, you've been asking. Next to the Beatmania box, is PlayStation 2, and then on the other side is a plug-and-play game where you have a sword, and you use it to interact with the video screen, kind of like a light gun, only it's a sword. It's called Zaku Zaku Braid, and it's a little plug-and-play by Takara. And yeah, actually, I've got the blades. Well, the swords over here by the TV, kind of decorative, but that's all it is. Liz, oh my gosh. Wow, we're about 3 or 4 minutes behind if you're just now starting to get that part. But yeah, it's a Zaku Zaku blade, and then I've got monkey ball figurines. Monkey ball figurines. I got two of them with very large balls. I've got two very large balls. And now the chat erupts. And I've got Armor Core figurine, which is very cool. And then Mickey Mouse paintbrush, which was sent to me by a fan, which was very nice. And then of course my Genesis. So yeah. So yeah, all those things are right there. And then I've got my Oswald Lucky Rabbit hat here, and then a star that was given to me at MagFest by a fan and a vendor there. And so yeah, it's well, I'm glad that so many people can. I feel like scum. I just woke up, and I mean, I woke up around 8 o'clock, went back to sleep after having a hard time going back to sleep, and then I woke up, put on a shirt, and I'm literally not. That's why I haven't been getting up, is because I have nothing from the waist down. Yeah, I really don't. So that's see my knee. There you go. Okay. Yeah. The Lotus Prince, that'll be interesting. So. Oh, Leonhard. Oh, I'm sorry, Leonhard. I know you're going to get this in about 2 minutes, but I'm sorry you're just not having a good week. Miss Nightmare. Oh, and there we go. There we go. Now we've got the the chat erupting because of it. Prove it. No. No. But if Scarlett wants to get on Skype afterwards, maybe I'll prove it to her. No, I'm just kidding. Joking. Let's see Video Dragon. Let's see if I can quickly copy and paste what you've got. What you sent me there. I don't know if I've seen it or not, so. I'll have to let it load because when I play stuff, it might go a little awry. So, but I'm glad that everybody's yeah, Otakon. I'm going to be going. I'm only going because a fan is bringing me out, which is a very kind thing. It's a very kind gesture. So, but yeah, it's kind of tough to get to all these places with the economy. But it's very nice. They're bringing me out to Otakon in 3 weeks, I think it is, and so very exciting. And tolls. Ugh. tolls to get to a wow. 106. We haven't been having that. We've been actually having lower 90s, higher 80s. So it's been okay. So oh, that's why Scarlett can't get on, is because she's got Skype problems. But yeah, it's been gosh, it's been a decent week. I'm gonna try and get to do 2 videos here. It's not that easy, but I'm gonna try because I want to really try and make this a part of my income. So we're gonna see. So gonna try and do 2 videos. So I ask everybody, please watch my stuff if you can. Oh, Jason David Frank might be at Otakon. That would be cool. Well, if he's at Otakon, I have to take my Famicom and Rider helmet, and I have to have him sign it. That's all there is to it. He has to sign the inside of the Famicom and Rider helmet. Crap. That would be cool, though. But anyways, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really relaxed right now. I'm yeah, I'm just having a great day. Oh, Jessica Ray, look at what you've done! Iron Liz and Scarlet Topi get on there, and you ruin Jessica. Now she's going to drive down from Denver, stalking. I'm just kidding. Op Live Crime all the time. If I take suggestions for You Can Play games, and sometimes I can get them. Sometimes I have them, and sometimes I can't get them, and so I can't play them. So, yeah. It's been the upper 90s there? Yeah. Hmm. 101 in New Jersey. Oh my gosh. Wait, Miss Na Young? You're gonna come to MagFest? Oh. You gotta bring some t-shirts. Because I want to buy a t-shirt from you and have you autograph it. Oh my gosh. Oh, Miss Na Young. Oh. You just made my day. Am I going to the next MagFest? Yes. You betcha. I'm gonna try. I'm trying to save up. I may have to find some people to room with. Last year roomed with Andrew Dickman, Cold Guy, and Sean Faust. We had a great time, and it was perfect. 4 people into the room was just perfect. But oh, it seems we're losing some of the lag now. That was pretty quick. So, oh yeah, oh that would be Fantastic. So yeah, so I may need to find a room with people with whom I can share the cost of a MagFest room. But yeah, I'm saving up. I'm going to be saving up for it because MagFest is the con that I want to keep on going to all the time. Oh, thank you, Dodger. That would be fantastic. That would be so nice. Oh, Heather. Heather Mason 76. You know what? You take care of your mom, and you know all the best to you and your family, and have all goodness waiting in the car for me. Thank you. You just take care of your family, all right, Heather, and it'll be okay. But if I'm going to MagFest, you'll see me there. Okay. Then I will be going to MagFest. Is Dragon Con a place I'd like to go? Yes. Video Dragon. I'd like to go to... I like conventions. And when I got to go to Con G as a guest, that was fantastic. So if, talk to your convention. Say, hey, we'd like to have J-Dub there. He's a lot of fun, and it's a, you wouldn't be disappointed. I could totally probably talk to him about this, but never mind. Count Checula is just typing me, so there we go. Hey, bye, Jetta. You'll find out I said bye in about a minute, so. But anyways, yeah, long story short, too late. Yeah, go ahead, talk to your cons about having me there as a guest. I'm inexpensive. I don't take up much room. Pretty much, a per diem for food. Fly me out there, fly me back, give me a hotel room. I'm happy. So we'll be fine. About 60 seconds? Okay. Well, that's not too bad. And Gunter, I'm gonna have to say I'm very sorry. With all this stuff, I have forgotten what game you suggested. If you could just tell me what game you suggested, and I'll tell you if I tried it. I am a cheap date. I am a very cheap date, agers. So yeah. Hey, later, Bemis. Great having you here. Oh, Pink Ranger, I completely understand my energy level. I haven't had breakfast yet. I've had to have a soda, so should suggest email that is exclusive for suggestions for a game review. Serious Cobra, I have that. If you go to JewWario at live.com, the little at symbol, live, live.com. Monster Girl Assault. Oh, that one. No, M. Gunter, I haven't done that. One, because I haven't been able to find a free version of that. And two, I can't get it to work on the Mac. I'd have to do it on the Asus. And I'm still a little shaky about playing those types of games on my Asus. So, yeah, not yet. Not yet, but it is on my list of, I do actually have a list of games that I'm going to be playing. So, Portuguese. I saw a tweet from you that you were eating Portuguese sausages. Do you like Portuguese cuisine, or that was it? LK Sinric. I remember your tweet as well. You tweeted that I was Portuguese. You were Portuguese, and you were surprised that I was eating that sort of thing. I went to a place called L&L's, and L&L is a Hawaiian restaurant. They do Hawaiian cuisine. So you can get spam musubi, you can get poco loco, which is totally not the Spanish word for that, for what they think it is. But it's warrior bowls where it's rice and steamed pork and things like that. And I had the breakfast, and their breakfast was 2 eggs, any style, rice, spam, and you could also get Portuguese sausage. So I got the Portuguese sausage with it, and it was very good, actually. It was very spicy. But I haven't had Portuguese cuisine as it is. And so that was my first try, but I really liked the sausage. It was very good. Only if J-Dub could be our wacky neighbor. Only if I could be the wacky neighbor that would just open up the door unexpectedly and go, "Hey, neighbor, how's it going? Giggity, giggity." No, I wouldn't say giggity. That one's copyrighted probably. But, pantsless, just bursting up the door open. "Hey, everybody, how's it going?" That wouldn't be right. Curiously open. Oh yeah, and as far as spam goes, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do any spam-related videos or tweets, but Spamorama was actually canceled this year because the hostess, Nancy, went. She had surgery, and so to kind of let her recoup, we decided to postpone it until next year. But we're still going to have it, and Spamorama is a lot of fun because people get to try to make things with spam. And we even have a trophy that you get, and your name goes on a little plaque with whatever you created. Spam-related things, we had a spam stew. Oh, stop, Scarlett. We had a spam stew that won. I made tacos. I called them spacos. And they were regular tortilla, but instead of using ground beef, I got a grinder. I used my aunt's meat grinder, and I ground spam. Cut them into long strips and had ground spam. Cooked it with taco spices, and you could barely taste the spam, but that's why I didn't win, because you got to actually be able to taste the spam. One of the teams that won one year, I think this was actually 2 years ago that they won, it was amazing. They made spam sausages. And I kid you not, they linked their own sausages. They got the covering, put it on a linker, and it was 2 parts spam, 3 parts venison. Or no, it was venison sausage. So they took sausage, sliced it, took out the meat, reground it, so you had the spices and stuff, and then ground spam, and then linked their own sausages, boiled them with onions and beer, and they were spam brats, and they were so good. They were so good. It was so good. Spam brown. Oh my god. Um, Last year, a little boy one. He had actually been working really hard on this. He's 11 years old. Morgan. He's one of the smartest kids that I've ever met. And he's like 10, 11 years old. His idea was to cut Spam kind of thin, not too thin, but kind of thin, and then he fried them. But he seasoned it like gyros, so they were Spam gyros, and they had pita bread and lettuce and tomato, and his mom made the homemade tzatziki sauce, and it was so good. Spiros. I think it was Spiros, actually. Oh my gosh. It was so good. I couldn't get enough of them. We have had green eggs and Spam. That was actually really good. Let me see. What else has won? We've had. I've made, and I used the grinder to make ground Spam again, and I made stuffed bell peppers. And I used what I usually use for my bell pepper stuffing, but instead I used Spam. And folks, Spam is just really good. On a regular basis, I make what I call my poor man beans. I get a slow cooker. Well, my slow cooker upstairs, and I make a pot of beans. I let them sit overnight, rinse them out, and then I cook them all day. But when I cook them, I slice up Spam because I don't have ham hocks. And I've got to tell you that, and I use plenty of garlic and onions, and plenty of herbs, lots of herbs. And it's so good. So good. And it's inexpensive. I use the reduced fat Spam, or the reduced salt Spam. It's really good. But, yeah. I know a lot of people aren't fond of Spam, but it is I grew up with it because we were poor. And now I really like, and now I really like, that sort of thing. So, Spam's good. What's with this you? And yeah, I do like the Spam song from Monty Python and Weird Al. So yeah, it's good stuff. And there's ways to make it. Pasta prosciutto, where you use prosciutto, which is ham. Well, why not use Spam instead? Ultima Alice. The NES Gunblade, the Famicom Gunblade, that was actually made by a friend of mine named Featherweight. He lives in Canada, and he makes these amazing items. And I got there, and he said, "Hey, Justin, we've got a gift for you." And he presented me the Famicom and Rider Blade. So yeah. Yep. Featherweight made the Atomic Robo cosplay. He's amazing. He does amazing stuff. I know, Tadasuke. It's kind of the only thing that's missing are the pictures. I really. Yes, Jinx, and it is meat, but it's not the meat that they make with for the slurry that they have for the chicken nuggets. So it's real meat. It might just be other parts, but hey, you know what? To me, meat's meat. Um, I didn't used to think that way. There, we had a neighbor who was Italian, and yes, actually, barbecue. I have had barbecue spam, Fire Minion. Somebody put spam on a spit and fried the ends so that it wouldn't fall apart, and then he put it onto a slow cooker and had rotisserie spam. So yes, I have had barbecue spam and slathered it in barbecue. Somebody else, this was very brilliant, took popsicle sticks and sliced the spam about a half an inch thick, and slid popsicle sticks in here, and then carved in between to make it look like ribs, and then barbecued them that way, and actually grilled them, and it was really amazing. It was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, there's the me getting it from there's featherweight right there. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, I mean, spam is just other part. Anyways, I was telling a story about my family. um, we lived next door to an Italian lady, and she would bring us over some of her slow cooked sauce. And one day, they had neck bones in it, and I didn't want to eat them. Neck bones. Ew, that's somebody's neck. No, it's just an animal's neck. It doesn't matter, it's a neck. And then I saw how much everybody was loving them. And I felt bad, and I was like, well, okay. And when nobody was looking, I made myself some spaghetti. I took out the sauce. I made a neck bone. And that was it. I think that's when I became a foodie. Because, getting that marrow out with the tomato sauce and the bits of meat on there, oh my gosh. It was so good. It was scrumptious. It had this beautiful fatty texture in it that just melted away like butter. And learning from No Reservations with Anthony Bourdain, that's what you do. You get a piece of toast, you take out the marrow, you spread it on like butter, and you eat it like that. And it's, yeah, too many people don't make enough stuff out of the whole animal anymore. Absolutely correct, Serious Cobra. Whenever I get bits, I keep it. I've got a thing of bacon fat that I keep in the fridge, so that when I cook up other things, I use a little bit of bacon fat instead of butter. I do use butter. I don't use margarine. You know, there's ways to eat well on a dime, and that's why I showed you guys how to do the ramen that way. So, Rose and Hacker, eat less than 2,000 calories. Walk every day. Keep your carbs under 100 grams. Christat, I am Jewish, but I'm too poor to eat. Kosher. Kosher food is very expensive. And if I did that, and besides, I don't believe in the whole don't eat pork thing. That whole thing about eating the cheeseburgers and stuff and eating the stuff, that was good then. But this is now. It's like Chris Rock said, you know, in the old days, a pork chop would kill you. But now, we got refrigeration. Today, a pork chop is your friend. And so, that's it. But kosher food, I still buy kosher when I can. Kosher meat is some of the best meat that you can get because it's cooked correctly. In fact, some of the best hot dogs you can get are Hebrew National because there's no fillers and there's no head meat in there and no finger meat in there. It's all real meat and it's expensive, but it's free from toxins. Yeah. So if you can, buy kosher, but pork is just too good. I love pork too much. And, I just can't. Isn't this how our streams usually go? I mean, come on. We usually talk about sex, we usually talk about games, and we usually end up eventually talking about food. Wow. I mean, this is every single stream. Oh, later, Liz. Take care. Yes, Scarlett. Scarlett, you need to get on Skype. Oh, well. Next week. Next week. You sweetie. Cherry cricket. I'm writing that down. Hold on. In Denver. Because actually we're going up to Denver tomorrow to see my mom. Oh, it's off of First and University. But kosher meat is not very ethical. Eric's actually kosher slaughter is actually very ethical. The animal doesn't suffer very long at all. I think it's I don't know how it is, but butchering an animal kosher wise is very humane. It's very humane and it's quick. It's not slow and drawn out. So, see, Farah, I've never had fennel sausages. Ah, you have a pork allergy, Laneender. I have a chicken allergy. I'm allergic to chicken. Any kind of poultry, I'm allergic to. And I'm allergic to some cooked fish as well. So it's very, very tough for me to find something that I can eat. But so another reason why I can't not eat pork, because then it would be when I was a little kid, I always complained that eating chicken gave me a fat lip, and my family was like, whatever. Well, one day in second grade, I ate a lot of chicken at lunch, and I passed out. Well, I collapsed underneath the tetherball thing, and my little friend, Darlene. I remember her name. Her name was Darlene. Darlene took me to the nurse's office. Come to find out, I'm allergic to poultry. So anytime we had hot dogs or something, we had to make sure it was all beef hot dogs. Chicken, turkey, duck, quail, pheasant, anything. Poultry. Eggs were fine. I could eat eggs. But chicken itself. So I haven't been eating chicken for years and years and years. I moved to Tallahassee in the year 2000. What does Tallahassee have? Well, they're the South. They have barbecue. They have barbecue chicken. And I made a mention, I'm allergic to chicken. I'm allergic to poultry. And my buddy says, he's a nurse for the, he was a nurse for the Army Reserve. And he said, well, Justin, that just sounds like a histamine problem. I said, histamine problem? He said, look, try this. Go to Walgreens, get some children's Benadryl, the liquid children's Benadryl. Next time we come here, bring it. Before we eat, take half a dose. Swish it in your mouth, make sure it kind of gets on your lips, then eat a piece of chicken. Then, wipe off the chicken grease, drink soda pop, because if you drink soda, the carbonation will help the oils get into your stomach, and nothing's getting out of your stomach. Your stomach lining won't let stuff get in or out. And see how that works. Well, now, I'm fine. I can eat chicken. I have to be careful. I can't have it on a hot day. I can't walk around after I've had chicken. So I have to be careful. But I can eat chicken now. In fact, we had, we were going to go to, this past 4th of July, we were going to go to Chick-fil-A for dinner. So yeah, it's not too bad. I just need to follow some steps, eat other things after the chicken, and things like that. Jessica, you're allergic to alcohol. Are you allergic to it because you have Indian blood in you? Because actually a friend of mine in Tallahassee was allergic to alcohol, and he was half Indian. Well, actually, he was full-blood Indian, but that's beside the point. He was full-blood Seminole. And he told me that there's something in Indians' genetics that makes them... That's why it screwed them up so much when we brought over alcohol. Well, and that's what he told me. But, you know, he said... So he was completely dry. He never drank anything. But he was the same way. So I'm wondering if it's because you have Indian blood in you. The stickers to my right. These guys, right? These are actually compile a lot of substitutes. I make it. Oh, that's very cool. These are actually not stickers. These are pearlier beads. You're white as can be and Irish. Oh, you're Irish and allergic to alcohol. You poor, you poor person. Yeah, these are just pearlier beads. This is just things that I made. So yeah. I actually got the images from a Sprite website that ripped them from a Famicom game, and I just... It looks like you caught up in Scarlet, and unfortunately it's 1 o'clock. You know what though, Scarlet? Because you finally caught up, I'll stream an extra 10-15 minutes. How about that? Hey guys, thanks a lot for liking the Kamen Rider G video too. And that's great. And let me know if you don't like something that I do. Please let me know. I know a lot of people don't like it when I do the Kamen Rider, the Famicom Rider, because I've got the helmet on the entire time, and you can't see my face. But riders don't take off their helmets. That's why they're the Kamen Rider, the masked rider. It wouldn't be the same. So, and if you could get on Scarlet, I might even stream longer. But if you can't get on Skype, I completely understand. Yay, Scottish. Oh, I finally saw Brave. Speaking of redheads and Scottish and sexy redheads that are Scottish, I saw Brave. It was very good. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. It's an owner. It's an owner. It was really well done. I still think that Up, I cried like a baby at Up. But, you know, I don't know a man who didn't cry at Up. At the very beginning, oh my God. Like a frickin' baby. You could I didn't do this, but you could probably look around in the back and all the guys are hanging on to their girls. Just crying. It was only as good as the and I hear that on Amazing Spider-Man he didn't have his helmet on either. He was unmasked for a great deal of it. That's your favorite Pixar film? Yeah, Miss Not Young. It's pretty. I really have to say that I think that one's probably my favorite. Was Up. Brave was really good, but I don't think it. But for me, I think Up was up there. I have to see Brave some more. I really do. Oh, you like the Boo plushie? You see if I have all my plushies up there. Yeah, I've got him. I've got him. I've got the Goomba. I've got the Starman right here, and as always, I have to show off my Pokemons. My Pokemons. Let me show you them. We've got Meowth, signed by Bruce Campbell, and then my George Takei signed Bulbasaur. So yeah, Bruce Campbell signed my my George Takei's Bulbasaur, and he's made an appearance in one of my videos too. Oh my! George Takei signed Bulbasaur. Yeah, Rosenacker, hold on, let me angle up the camera, because really, I'm not kidding when I say I has no pants. Let me. Yeah. So Bruce Campbell signed my Meowth right there, and then George Takei. There he is. George Takei signed Bulbasaur, and I even have him a picture of him holding the Bulbasaur after he signed it. It was wonderful. And I have other ones on there too. I have Alice Krieg, who played the Queen Borg. I have Jeffrey Willerth, who played Kosh. Robert Krimmer, who played the president on Babylon 5. And those two were a kick in the pants. They were fun. Oh yeah, Eric's, he totally knew. He was like, oh, a Bulbasaur, a Pokemon. Okay, you know, and Bruce Campbell, he just kind of looked at it and went, where do I sign it? He didn't know where to sign it. So he said, oh, I'll sign it on the coin. So yeah. But yeah, actually, and when Willerth and when they signed it, he signed it and he looked at his buddy and said, "Hey, look, signed his butt." They were a riot. They were hilarious. Oh my! I look like shit. After this, I'm going to take a shower and think of Scarlet. I'm just kidding. Totally going to do that. Totally going to do that. Oh, and Scarlet, if I had a Pokemon there, I totally would have gotten Felicia Day to sign it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, both of them were so sweet. We actually were just standing in line at Bethesda, and Mark kind of nudges me, and he's like, "Justin, over there. Felicia Day's over there." I said, "Yeah, I know." And then he just made the decision, and you could tell other people were like, "Don't want to go up, talk to her, want to be respectful of her space." Folks, I gotta tell you right now, if somebody's famous, even internet famous, come on up to us. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, it's part of our job. I have no problems ever when people come up to me and talk to me. It makes my day. So Mark walked up to her, I walked up to her, so I didn't have her sign anything, but yeah, it was very, very cool. And it was very nice, and they were very, very cool about the whole thing too. So yeah, there was no problem. And Emily, best shower ever. Damn right, Leonhardt. Damn right. Yeah, because this is what we want to be famous. I'm just going to say it right now. We want to be famous. We want to have people enjoy what we do so much that you come on up to us and shake our hand and tell us what you think about what we do. And it means an awful lot to me. So, oh, Twisted Puppet, thank you very much. That means a lot. Thank you very much. That means an awful lot. So yeah, it'll be come on up to us. We don't bite unless you want us to. So, oh Jinx, that's wow. You've got like Miss Na Young or Scarlet in a knockdown. Well, we all know that Miss Na Young would win, but boy, do you snuggle up to the loser and comfort them, or do you pick up the winner or let her pick you up and celebrate? I don't know. It's too much to think about. I can't think. Well, thank you, Miss Na Young. Actually, that's the one that people hated the most. They said I got my facts wrong, but I went through it again and I was like, how did I get my facts wrong? It's correct. From what it seemed, this person was an enemy. So I'm staying by it, but I got a lot of flack from the Garo review. But thank you for liking it. And you're a big fan of Garo. Well, good. Good. I think people didn't like it because I didn't know. I was taking assumptions. But, you know, when you buy a movie and it's doesn't say on the back that it's a part of a TV show, and you only find that out later, well, then you've got to review the movie as it is.